Hello, this is Mr. Chabry, and we are here with another narrated Pokemon battle. So this is going to be a never-used battle against Kana-chan 23, and right off the bat, looking at my opponent's team, there's a few Pokemon that could actually be pretty threatening here. Of course, Vikavolt could actually do a lot of damage if I'm not careful, and that's probably the one I'm most afraid of. So I'm actually going to lead off with my Araquanid. I want to go ahead and get some sticky webs up because looking at my opponent's team, of course Hitmontop does have Rapid Spin, but I think I could start putting some pressure on my opponent's team if I get sticky webs up first thing. So of course this thing's actually going to go for a Flamethrower. I'm not too sure why my opponent went for Flamethrower there, but now my opponent goes for the Dark Pulse, and I have no reason to switch out because Araquanid has really good special defense. So we take that beautifully, and I just go for Liquidation, take it out. So now my opponent's going to bring in the Sceptile, and the thing is going to get caught in the sticky webs. I'm not too afraid of it, and I actually misclick here. I go for Magic Coat, which isn't going to do anything because of course, Sceptile isn't really known for setting stuff up and trying to set up hazards or go for Toxic and stuff. I actually wanted to go for a Hidden Power Ice to get some sort of chip damage. But the good thing is this Sceptile actually ends up being a physical set, and Sceptile does not have the best physical stats. So we're able to live a Leaf Blade and a Drain Punch. I'm not sure why my opponent went for Drain Punch, but that Drain Punch actually gives us an opportunity to hit this thing with a Hidden Power Ice. And now my opponent goes for another one. Maybe my opponent is just trying to get some health back, knowing that Araquanid is not really going to do that much to Sceptile, even though we do have Hidden Power Ice. Maybe that's my opponent's thinking there. But we do go down to the next Drain Punch, and Sceptile does get some health back with the leftovers. So now I'm going to go into my Magmortor. And Magmortor is a really good Pokemon in this tier. It can hit really hard. It can do some decent damage. We're going to take a Drain Punch right there. This thing's going to try to heal itself up, and I'm just going to go for a Fire Blast. There's not really a reason for me not to. Houndoom is gone, so Houndoom can't come in and get a Flash Fire boost, so we just go ahead, Fire Blast, and that will finish off the Sceptile. So now my opponent will go into Vikavolt, which I'm actually unsure if this was the right play for my opponent. I'm just going to go for another Fire Blast. I don't have a reason to switch out, and we take this thing out, so that's really good there. I think this is actually an Assault Vested Magmortar, so it's actually doing some decent work right here. And now my opponent goes into Vaporeon, and this Magmortar is actually packing the Thunderbolt just for water types. So I just go for the Thunderbolt, get some nice damage, as my opponent is going to hit us with a Scald, and we actually survive with 1 HP. So that Assault Vest is actually helping out a lot. And I'm actually going to keep Magmortar alive, just because it could still do some decent work. Plus, I do have Z-Memento on this Whimsicott, so whenever I need to, I can always bring in my Magmortar and have it healed back to full health. So here we're going to take that Scald pretty well, and now I'm just going to set up a Tailwind. I think this would actually help out a lot because, of course, the Sticky Webs is up, but maybe honestly I should have actually just popped my Z move there, because this thing's going to take me out with an Ice Beam, and that would have been nice so I could be able to heal up my Magmortar, come in at full health. But unfortunately we lose Whimsicott without going for the Z Memento, and Magmortar is going to have to do as much as it can with 1 HP. So I just go ahead, finish this thing off with a Thunderbolt, and of course my opponent will bring in Hitmontop, so I'm pretty sure Magmortar will go down. I'm hoping my opponent actually does something like Mach Punch instead of Rapid Spin. That's what I'm honestly hoping for. And my opponent actually does go for the Mach Punch. So that's actually pretty good for me because the Sticky Webs are still up. I do still have my Tailwind, but honestly, I don't think it matters that much at this point. I'm going to go into Aromatisse. Aromatisse is actually a really good support Pokemon. And this thing actually just goes for another Mach Punch, telling me it might be choiced in some way. I'm not totally sure, but I'm just going to Moon Blast here. And of course Hitmontop does have decent special defense, and my Aromatisse is not really the best special attacker. It's more utility set. But the Tailwind will peter out here, and this thing's going to go for another Mach Punch, trying to get some sort of chip damage really. But it's not going to do much because Aromatisse resists that, and Hitmontop does have decent attack, but it's not the best attack. So we take out the Hitmontop. Aromatisse is getting some leftover recovery, and now my opponent will go into Vivillon. And of course, Vivillon could be a problem if it does get some Quiver Dances up, but this one's just going to go ahead and go for a Giga Drain. I'm just going to keep Moonblasting this thing. I don't want it to get a Quiver Dance, because Quiver Dance Vivillon could be a threat, of course, especially setting up on my Aromatisse. Aromatisse is a special attacker, and that would actually hurt me quite a bit if this thing went for Quiver Dance, because Aromatisse wouldn't be doing as much damage. So now my opponent's just going to switch it up, go for Psychic this time. I guess trying to get the special defense drop, so anything else would do more damage. But I just continue with the Moonblast, and we take out Vivillon. So Aromatisse really doing good in this battle. I think Magmortor was the MVP though, because it took out a big chunk of my opponent's team, and I probably should have went for Z Memento so I could have some more health on Magmortor, and it probably would have done a little bit more, but I'm not sure if it would have or not. But anyway, if you like this battle, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I will see you in the next Pokemon video.